Hey, welcome back to JK Moto Entertainment Channel. Welcome back once again to Stable B for maybe the last time. Probably not. Hopefully not. But our favorite place is usually how I end that. Anyway, it is February going on March, which means that track season has either already begun for you or it was going the whole time because you live in a warm state in the winter. Or I guess not just state. Technically, there are worldwide viewers here. So for my friends down under in Australia, maybe your season is about to come to an end. But anyway, for where I'm at, track season is right around the corner. Or has kind of almost already started. It's been a little cold this year, it's been a little weird. But that means that it's your last chance to get done with any maintenance that you may have not done yet, which if you haven't, it's gonna be hard probably. Hopefully you're putting money away for track tickets and tires and whatnot, so hopefully you already got all the big stuff knocked out of the way. But one thing that I used to actually not think about it at all or even know about, but I do regularly now, even though today we're gonna be doing it on a friend's bike of mine, is a brake fluid flush. And that is what we're going to go through today and kind of show you guys how you can do it. I'm going to use a pump to do that, so I'll show you guys that in a second. There are other ways to do it, but I would at least recommend having some Tygon tubing of some sort. Just a little plastic tubing or rubber tubing, whatever you want to call it. Just to collect all your brake fluid so it doesn't get everywhere. This stuff is highly corrosive and not fun to get where you don't want it. So anyway, without further ado, please, before we actually get started, go down below here, click on the subscribe channel or subscribe button to the channel. Throw a like on the video also, because otherwise you'll forget at the end. Even if you end up really liking the video, you're probably likely to forget it. So just like it now. You'll probably like it. If not, then that's fine. And if you have any questions or comments, or maybe you've done this before and you see me doing something a little weird, please throw those down in the comment section so that we here as the JK Moto Entertainment Channel and group of people can all have the experience of everyone. Yeah, on that note, we're going to go ahead and get into it and get some brake fluid flushed or replaced, really, is what we're technically doing. So the tools you're going to need for this are, for this bike specifically, it's an 8mm wrench. I think I've seen a 10 before. That's just going to be for your bleeder screw. I used a Phillips screwdriver to get the cap off of our brake fluid reservoir, which I'll show you in a second. And then that's actually technically all you need. Very technically. Well, and this isn't a tool, but brake fluid. And I've got shop towels in case we spill any brake fluid. The whole goal of this is to get all the fluid out. So we're going to bleed both sides until we get clear fluid out. If you look in our reservoir, it is not very good looking brake fluid. It's all old and brown, and as it gets used and heated and cooled and everything else, it kind of loses its goodness. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't want to show you guys how expensive this stuff is. But anyway, so we got this nice brand new .4 Motul. I don't know, I didn't pick it out. I usually just go get .4 at Napa. Make sure you get the right fluid. Generally, most motorcycles are going to use .4 because it's got a higher heat capacity in it. But anyway, if we look in here, we'll see this beautiful bright silver brake fluid. I'm just kidding, it's not fluid at all. That is in fact the seal. But if we cut that open, we'll see some beautiful brake fluid inside. It should be like relatively clear looking is the goal. That's what we're looking for today to help us get all this brown gunky brake fluid replaced with this nice clear stuff. And then the second tool that you can go get pretty easily at a parts store is a vacuum pump, which I actually need to empty mine out. If you look, it's pretty gross. But that's what bad brake fluid looks like. And if you look up in the brake fluid reservoir, which you will here in a second, you'll see that it also looks like that. So that's what we're going not for specifically. So anyway, if you've ever bled brakes before, this is basically the same process. Like I said, you don't have to have one of these vacuum pumps. I'll walk you through how to do it without, but you definitely want to make sure that your bleeder screw down here is not pointing at any other part on your bike, realistically. There's this guy down here. Sometimes they point in, sometimes they point out. It's nicer when they point out because then you don't have to worry about it as much. That's what we're going to be connecting our vacuum pump to. The nice part about the vacuum pump for me is that I can pump until I've got clear liquid coming out. I used to have a lot longer hose, but then I found that was just kind of annoying to work the pump all the way over here with the hose long and connected. So anyway, what you're gonna do if you have a vacuum pump is put your vacuum pump on your bleeder screw here, get a vacuum drawn on it, and then essentially just kind of open that thing up and fluid will start coming out. It's really quite a simple process, to be honest with you. What you don't want to do is get air introduced back into the brakes. So you want to make sure that all those connections are relatively tight, and then you start getting your fluid out. Then you just want to keep an eye on your reservoir at the top. Verify that it's not emptying, because if you get it below the hose, that means you've got air coming out, which is no good. And then I'll show you, so that's with the vacuum pump. I'll show you that you can also just sit here and pump your brakes. And sometimes that's even faster. Even with the vacuum pump, I'll do that. I just like using the vacuum pump because you can keep a vacuum on it, and you get the nice little collection container. So anyway, we're gonna go until I get to pretty low in that reservoir. Then I'll add some fluid to it, and then we'll just kind of keep going until we get nice clean fluid out. Always make sure that if you're gonna go add your fluid or leave this for any reason, you go ahead and snug up that bleeder screw, and realistically you can just pull that off while you're up filling up your fluid. I guess it's not actually that much cleaner. But you can definitely tell it's a lighter color, especially because I can see it mixing in there. And everything in there now looks much nicer. So we'll come back down here. Get our vacuum drawn. Oh, apparently not. There we go. Okay, so you should be able to start seeing now down here in this collection facility I've got. It is starting to clean out. I've also gone through about 2 volumes of that reservoir now. So I've got some good kind of clean fluid coming in now. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this side up. And then we're going to head to the other side. So just important to note, your motorcycle has 2 brakes on the front, most likely. Maybe it doesn't. So make sure when you're flushing brake fluid, that you are in fact doing both sides. So you get it all out of those lines, but that looks a lot closer to the new stuff that we're putting in. So we'll top that off again, we'll dump this out, and then we'll check the other side. Just something to remember, so you don't ever want to break your bleeder screw without having your brake lever depressed or having a vacuum on your vacuum pump. The nice part about when you're doing this brake fluid flush, if you ever mess it up, you'll know afterward by how squishy your brakes are, and you can just redo it if you need to. But anyway, we should be able to do this side in under the time that it takes. Great. Hopefully, because that just came out of there. Anyway, so if you run into this option, when you're on this side, you do have to kind of reach over. You also have to make sure you still keep an eye on your fluid level, but it is doable. Kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt. But that's looking pretty clean already. You can see the cleaner stuff coming in and mixing. We should be good to go there. There shouldn't be much in your second line when you get there. Just keep that in mind. That was good. Tell me you go to the track without telling me you go to the track. Look at all that duct tape residue. That's good. Anyway, so we got done with both. We got some clean fluid back out. We're good to go. Once again, keep in mind, you don't have to have a vacuum pump. It just makes it a little easier because you're not sitting here like, let's see, pull brake lever, loosen screw, tighten screw, release brake lever, pull brake lever, loosen screw, tighten screw, release. Like that would be your kind of method there, but when you have the vacuum pump, it's awesome because you just pull the vacuum on it and you can use it. Now we're going to test these real quick. What do you know it? They're still nice and stiff, which means we never introduced any air. So then we'll go ahead and put our cap back on and we'll be done. So to close up that was really about it. We'll do the back later. I just didn't feel like I needed to show you guys that it's the same process. You get another reservoir, the lever or the rear brake lever. Yeah, I think it's still called a lever. If not, let me know down in the comments. And then your same bleeder screw. Same process, it's a little easier because it's just a lot smaller line. But yeah, that's really about it. Important to do, usually about once a year is how often you want to do that. Some people do it a little more often, maybe twice a year, every 6 months or whatever, but definitely before you hit your new track season or at the end of track season, whatever it is. But also recognize that like as this stuff sits around, it goes bad. It's not just from use. It's mostly the heat cycles that really mess it up, but just purely sitting around can also make it go bad. So you're definitely better off doing it right before the season starts. And then clean your tape residue off your mirrors if you're taping your mirrors, or just take your mirrors off and use a handlebar mirror like a normal person. But anyway, that's about all we got. Hopefully you guys learned something. If not, hopefully you have some experience you can throw down in the comments so someone else can learn something. And if you guys have any questions, as always, please let me know. You can also reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at JKMoto Entertainment. Give us a follow over there while you're over there, and then let me know what questions you got. I will answer any and all messages, direct messages. Yeah, messages that I get on both of those. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel one more time if you didn't already. I guess if you didn't already, subscribe to the channel. And I'll remind you at the end, since I reminded you in the beginning, you probably didn't listen. Go ahead and throw a like on the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.